Blue Run High Rye Bourbon. Is this the best thing Jim Rutledge has ever put out? Stick around to find out. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of With or Without Whiskey, the show where I give you the history and review of all things whiskey. I'm Ryan, and today I will be reviewing Blue Run High Rye Bourbon. So enough talk, let's get right into it. Blue Run High Rye Bourbon was released in October of 2021 and features Jim Rutledge as the distiller. It was distilled at the Castle and Key Distillery. Each one of the Blue Run editions have a different color butterfly on the bottle, and the High Rye features an iridescent coated butterfly. This product was only released in select states for batch 1, like Kentucky, Louisiana, Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, Washington, D.C., Maryland, Delaware, Illinois, Colorado, California, Florida, and New Jersey. Batch 2, on the other hand, was said to be more available and released in 47 states. Only 100 barrels of the High Rye Bourbon were selected for the first bottling and 232 for the second. Each one was toasted to a level 4 alligator char. The whiskey inside the bottle is 111 proof, or 55.5% ABV, and is 4 years old. It costs about $90 to $100 and has a mash bill of 65% yellow corn, 30% rye, and 5% malted barley. All right, let's get into it. So the one thing I like the most about the Blue Run bottles is just the shape. I mean, it's just a beautiful looking bottle. And they always throw in a black cork as well, so that's always kind of cool. All right. Let's take a look at the color. So it's got a decent mahogany tint to it, almost like that gold amber kind of color. You can't really expect a super deep color from only a 4-year-old bourbon, but sometimes it might surprise you. All right, let's get into the nose. Okay, right on the nose, I'm definitely getting some caramel, some vanilla, and a little bit of honey. After that, there's a little bit of cinnamon, a little toasted oak kind of scent, and kind of a floral note. It's got a little bit of kind of that corn dust scent and a little bit of that raw grain scent, but it's not overpowering and it doesn't have that kind of young scent, but you can still smell the corn. It has kind of like a fruity, almost syrup kind of scent. Like, you know when you go to IHOP and they have those fruit flavored syrups right next to you? It kind of smells like you mixed like the regular one with, say, the strawberry one or the blueberry one. It's very sweet and very fruity. Just reminded me of that. All right, let's see how it tastes. Cheers, guys. Ooh, okay. That's pretty nice. On the taste, it's very sweet up front. I'm getting a lot of those maple syrup notes, like it tastes like those IHOP maple syrups. There's some honey, I'm getting cherry, and a little bit of char, almost like a toasted marshmallow. After the sweet, you get into those kind of rye spice flavors. There's a lot of cinnamon, there's a lot of cloves, and there's a little bit of that malted barley taste to it. I know it only has 5% malted barley, but that flavor is coming through very strong, and you usually don't get that in a bourbon, so this is a nice addition. There's a decent amount of oak there, especially towards the end, but it's kind of melding with that char kind of marshmallow taste. The finish on this one is about medium, not too strong, but it's not disappearing immediately either. I'm getting cinnamon, I'm getting oak, There's some cocoa powder on there, like if you've ever had just raw Dutch processed cocoa powder, it has that flavor just kind of lingering on the tongue. That's probably the most prominent note in here. In the background though, again, I'm getting that malty note. Like it's got a very good Scotch flavor right on the end, like a single malt Scotch, but it has the bourbon complexity. So it's very, very interesting. All right, let's see what happens when we add a little bit of water to it. But before we do that, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons down below. Not only does it show support for the channel, but it helps me out by getting the videos recommended to a larger audience. All right, let's see what happens to Blue Run when it gets a little bit of water. All right, we'll mix it around a little bit and go right into the nose. Okay, so on the nose, it dulled out a couple of the flavors, but it kind of intensified a few of the other ones. Like I'm getting a lot of cherry, I'm getting a lot of vanilla and caramel. Like it's got those super bourbony notes. That corn dust kind of raw grain scent is completely gone. I don't get that at all. But strangely enough, the IHOP fruit syrup is still there. So that seems like it's a major note in this. Let's see how it tastes. Okay, with the water, right up front, you're getting a lot of honey and a lot of cherry. It's very nice, it's very sweet. And then followed by that, again, it's the malt note. I don't know why I keep focusing and zeroing in on that. I think it's because I don't normally get that in a bourbon, so it's just standing out and popping for me. So I really enjoy that. But beyond that note, it's got a good creaminess to it. It almost tastes like a cinnamon bun, to be honest with you. Like that creamy icing along with that like doughy cinnamon brown sugar. It reminds me of that. Let's try it one more time. Yeah, honey cherry first, then maltiness and cinnamon bun. It's very unique, I'll say that. The finish with the water is nothing too spectacular. There's a good amount of oak, which really hasn't been present throughout this that much, and a little bit of vanilla, but it's very faint. All right, stick around for the grade. All right, so for Blue Run High Rye Bourbon, I think I'm gonna give it a grade of 94 out of 100. This one was fantastic. I absolutely loved this bourbon. It is unique. There's, again, those standard bourbon notes, caramel, vanilla, honey, cherry. We all know those notes. But then I was getting those maple syrup, kind of fruit flavored syrup on the nose. So that was definitely something new. The taste was very complex. Sweet maple syrup with that rye spice coming through. And then, again, that malt note, that malted barley is just, it's something that I don't know why, I'm just obsessed with that with this one. It's not a lot of malted barley in the mash bill, but the flavor is just right there. The finish definitely wasn't boring. There was some malt notes, cinnamon, oak, and that raw cocoa powder. Then once you added the water, it, again, dulled out the nose, which is typical, but it brought forward a lot of different flavors, including that cinnamon bun note, which I think was just absolutely fantastic. So for Blue Run High Rye Bourbon, I think I'm gonna go with it. Yeah, this was just a fantastic bottle of bourbon. Super nice, easy to drink, had a good balance between bourbon notes and those rye notes. The nose and taste on this one was very interesting. It was super complex and it was unique. I've never had a whiskey that tasted like this. Rye, bourbon, or scotch. Really, the only con of this whiskey is the price. It's a little expensive, about $100. That's not always in everybody's wheelhouse. So if you ever get a chance to try this one, I highly recommend it. And if you ever see it and you can afford it, I would say pick it up. It's got an amazing whiskey inside the bottle. The bottle itself is beautiful. So even if you're not gonna drink it a lot, it's just nice to display on the front of your bar when your company comes over. All right, well, that does it for today's episode of With or Without Whiskey. If you enjoyed the episode and you had a good time, please let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know if you've ever had the Blue Run High Rye Bourbon. What do you think? Do you like it? Do you think it's a little too expensive for what it is? Or do you think it's right in that price range? Also, if you have had it, let me know if you're getting those malty notes as well. I really want to know. So remember, guys, no matter how busy you are, there's always time for a drink with friends. Stay safe, everyone.